This is Oldecam.
And this is not a spring chick coming to you from Southern California beaches. But I had to grab Oldecam on just to go over one of the points that we covered, well, in our headlines of today. Because there's a few issues on drilling that I wasn't quite certain about this. What is this about if we're not going to drill in the Arctic?
Everybody else in the world will.
Well, what good does that do us then?
Well, basically, it means that we're going to be putting our money out to everybody else in the world. See, the thing is that the Democrats do not want us to drill, period. They want us to get off of oil. And they don't care how much problems it causes between now and then, because right now, Republicans are willing to deal, like they got, supposedly they got the gang of 10 in the Senate, who are willing to deal on, giving a little here to get a little there. The Democratic leadership does not want drilling, period.
Well, wait a minute. Even though they don't want it, we need oil. Or another source. And if the rest of the world is.
The rest of the world will be, they say, well, if the rest of the world is on fossil fuel and we aren't, they will have to follow us. But it will be at least, even the most ardent supporter of the Green Movement said it will be at least a decade before we can have a sustainable energy source that can be used to get us off of petroleum.
So if we're going to have to wait a decade, I mean, well, first of all, if they start drilling over there in the Arctic, how long will it take before we actually see benefit?
3 to 7 years.
Well, that's shorter than 10.
But the problem is that there's not a shortage of oil. There's just a lot of people okay, here's the crux to the thing from people that are basically have a good idea what's going on. The Chinese can beat us militarily, or they can put the same amount of money they would use in the military and use it to buy up all the oil reserves in the world that they get their hands on.
So is this what happened when they wanted to buy the American Oil Company and we wouldn't let them?
We wouldn't let them buy ExxonMobil because they knew that this is what the Chinese were going to do. They were going to simply use oil as a weapon. I mean, it is the greatest weapon ever created because our military, basically lives off of petroleum products.
How long ago was it when they were trying to buy the oil companies?
More than a year ago.
Okay.
It started about the same time. It ended before the Democrats took office. Republicans wouldn't allow it to happen.
Okay.
Because the Republicans knew what was going to happen. My guess is if the Democrats had been in the majority in the House and Senate and Obama would have been president, they would have let the Chinese government buy ExxonMobil because it is, in the words of the Democratic leadership, it's going to be painful to get us off, but people are going to have to simply put up with this pain for the good of their children.
Well, there's some people that would like to have a house over their head long enough so they could raise their children for the good of their children.
Environmental rules are not made for the benefit of people. They're made for the benefit of the environment.
That's why it's called an environmentalist.
Okay, when I actually worked on a project called Better Red Than Dead a long time ago, which basically, if you got a choice of being dead or be a communist, you should be a communist. It was a bad Jack Webb thing, really bad. But there's a bumper sticker out that says "Better green than alive."
There is?
That's right. It's about a back of cars, better green than alive, because the green movement is all about preserving the environment. It is nothing about making a better place for humans to be. They figure right now they need to cut back. They want most of the cattle herds in the world basically slaughtered. They want almost all the industry in this world shut down. They want all of the means of mass production of food shut down. If you shut down meat, you shut down food, you shut down work. Basically, there's like 3 billion people too many on this planet then to feed. So what happens to the people? Anybody see the movie Soylent Green, folks?
I was just thinking about that movie.
That's
it's
right.
been a while ago. That was not.
They had too many people, so they sat there and ground people.
Oh, you don't need to get. They can look at that.
But the green movement is all about the environment. There is no compromise whatsoever. It's like the Sierra Club. Sierra Club would rather not have people ever see something than to have people go see it.
Oh, it's that crack in the door theory. Because once you let them have a crack in the door,
yeah,
then
they won't even let you repair things. They'll fight you in every inch of the way in a court to keep you from repairing things in national parks that are busted, because they figure if they're not repaired, they'll be shut down and not used. Therefore, less people will get to see the parks. The National Park Service was created by Teddy Roosevelt in order so that people could get to see things that they had never got to see. The Preservation Act was so that people could get to see it, not so that a couple of polar bears and Anwar could be handled.